Hello, and welcome to today's episode. The Bible is referred to as the living Word of God. It isn't a book that is meant simply to be read. It is a perspective-altering substance that is meant to be ingested and absorbed into you. And when it becomes a part of you, it changes you. And that is exactly what it is meant to do. A psalm is a spiritual song based on a profound foundational insight that is expressed in the form of music, which is usually played on a harp. This is my own paraphrase of the Psalms. Now, there is an important difference between a paraphrase and a translation, and it is important to understand what that difference is. A translation takes a text word by word, and it finds the most accurate word in another language to convey the meaning of that original word. But sometimes getting the details right can come at the expense of the big picture. For example, the literal translation for a butt dial and the literal translation for a booty call could end up being exactly the same if they were both translated very literally into another language. But we all know that those are two very different ideas. A paraphrase, on the other hand, is attempting to capture the spirit of the idea that is being expressed. But both approaches come with their own disadvantages. Sometimes the most literal translation for each word, while technically accurate, loses something in its translation. For example, if you were to translate the phrase, "cat got your tongue," into another language, it would make no sense to them. Why would a cat grab your tongue? What are you even talking about? In order to convey the original idea, you would have to find out which saying is used in that other language to express the same concept. But it might not involve a cat, or even any animal at all. So the literal translation would not be a very accurate one. But in a case like the one that I just described, the idea is more important than sticking to a very literal translation that loses all of its intended meaning. However, because paraphrases are an individual's interpretation of the underlying idea instead of a rigorous academic translation of the word, they are not as objectively accurate as a translation is. A paraphrase is a lot more subjective, and that makes it much more susceptible to interpretations that are way off the mark of the original text's intent. The focus of a translation is on detailed accuracy, and sometimes the broader picture is not conveyed very clearly as a result. The focus of a paraphrase is on painting that big picture, but it often loses the accuracy of the finer details. Both are useful as long as you understand which is which, and what the disadvantages to each approach are. And that is why I recommend using both an accurate translation like the New American Standard and a responsible paraphrase. Psalm 34, Part B, verses 15 through 22. The eyes of the Most High are focused in to watch over those who aim for him, and his ears are receptive to their cry. But the Most High also faces off against people who aim at things that are corrupt. And when he is finished dealing with them, he will sever even their memory from the rest of the world. But when the people who aim for him cry out, the Most High hears them, and he faithfully delivers them from the chaos that torments them. For in his devotion to them, the Most High is inseparable from the person who has a heart that has truly been broken. And he steps in to save the contrite person whose spirit has been crushed under the weight of his own regrets. Yes, the person who aims correctly will still encounter many difficult and unjust things that cause him to suffer in this broken world. But the Most High also gives him the final victory over all of them. He protects each one of his bones, and not one of them is broken when it is all said and done. But the person who hates those who aim up towards what is right will inevitably be consumed and held fully accountable for all of it. For evil always murders the person who lets it in. But the Most High will pay any ransom to free his own followers, and no one who takes refuge in him will ever be condemned for their shortcomings. I pray that whatever voice God might choose to give me in this world, he would also give me the words that I should use it for. These words have meaning for me, and if they had some meaning for you as well, then I am truly grateful that we have both been given a gift from above and from each other. Have a good day out there, my friends.